Hello. This read is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant for this period during this coming up eclipse, and for August 2018. I'm starting my next batch with my Tree of Life tapestry here, or hanging. Hope you like it. We've got a full moon lunar eclipse coming in on the 27th, and for Aries that's going to show up in their 11th house. And so for Aries, that's going to mean shifts and changes in the area of friends. So that the lunar eclipse is going to be releasing things so that we can open space up for the new things that are going to be ushered in the next eclipse, which is going to happen in August, I think, 11th. And I think that is a solar eclipse. So, I think... Anyway, so this moon coming up, this full moon lunar eclipse is going to be one of the longest in a long time, over 100 years. So I'm going to go ahead and see what the cards would like to tell Aries for August 2018. And by the way, thanks for following and liking and subscribing, and I do enjoy comments anytime. So let's have a look. Wow. Okay, Aries. Interesting. All right. Now, this read, let's have a look. I am seeing interesting, and well, I'm sorry if I say that too much. It's just, that's how I kind of work my way through the pictures. This is how I do my card reads, is I really let the whole, I run workshops, so I kind of teach to a lot of people that watch my videos. So I kind of always explain as I go, but what I really do is I let the whole picture hit me at first and give me a general feeling. And we've got these four major arcana, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how funny, we got 5 minor. Now, what's hitting me the first, what's strongest here? The Sun card. Everybody loves the Sun card. Most tarot card readers will tell you that's the best card of the deck. And yeah, these are all really nice cards. So, let's get into the read. I got to get into it. It looks to me like Aries. Now, these swords represent air. And we've got pentacles, and then we've got the Lover's card, and we've got wands, and we've got this sword here. So we're getting a predominance of action. We're getting a predominance of the sword signs. And so what does that tell you? That's going to be action. That's involving action. Now, the Seven of Swords always represents deception. So what this thing is that there's a deception in the waiting. So this eclipse is going to reveal a sort of, it's going to initiate movement or action spurring from a period of holding back and waiting. And now we see the deception card is it was a deception that there was no action. That the temperance, that during this waiting period for the, you know, I remember my last read for Aries, there's action period. So this, we're adding to that. I mean, this action is spurred out of a period of balancing. So from the heart. So in other words, because this is the heart section of my read, so for Aries, there's a sort of a clarity during a temperance period that may have appeared if you haven't been in Aries in action, because the last video I did was Aries in action, very much in action. If you haven't been in Aries in action, this read is saying that your non-action was part of the upcoming action that was going to occur for you. And I think that's what this lunar eclipse that's coming up on the 27th is going to spur, and that this is action that might have been this non-action period. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. It was deceptive that it was a non-action period when balancing is part of the action that's going to see. We got 2 balancing right here. We got boop, 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 ace. So there was energetic balancing going on prior. So the Aries that were non-active were in deception, and they were preparing for action. That's what I'm saying. So I think for Aries in this next lunar eclipse, there's going to be because here we get the Hermit card and we get the Sun card. So I think there's going to be a form of ignition or an awakening that sets the Aries free to create an action towards leaving. I mean, it could be travel. This could also involve travel, but it in other words, there's going to be a revelation brought to the Aries that's going to bring a certain amount of freedom, a release that's going to enable the Aries to sort of align in with a more harmonious, truly most fated partnership here. So I'm going to try and re-summarize that, or reignite, or re-say that. Oops. I'm going to try to redo that. Now, the 11th house in this coming up lunar eclipse for Aries involves releasing 11th house, which is letting go of certain social groups, friendship groups, tribes, social networking arenas, or something to do with the group, a group of people, friends. Now, what that shows in this read is a reigniting into, because now we get these cards going straight into the center of the union, and this figuring out that it sets them free. So we're having sort of an emancipation or a freedom around that enables the true fate for the Aries, because you know what? It seems to me that would have been a blockage to their true destined divine partnerships. And so it seems to me that this is a situation that may have, that a non-action or pulling away was really a balancing period, needing a sort of a balancing period that the Aries were needing in order to come into full clarity on and kind of come into an inner union with the self, enabling the Aries to sort of, now this is the Two of Pentacles, figure something out. And what are they figuring out? What to leave and where to go to, which is going to bring them into more internal harmony, which then puts them on a more fated path to their true divine partner. So it looks like the Aries are coming in. Now here, oh, there's the action cards, and there we go, divine partner. You know, there's 1111. So there's a turn. So in my last read we had, I think I already talked about this, the action in the other cards. It looks to me that this is furthermore a sort of a continued step in that direction, like another layer in that direction, which is going to bring the Aries into their true destined, you know, most abundant, planned, contracted life. It's sometimes hard to say that. Hard to find the right words for that. It's a really nice eclipse, you know. It's funny because I do think a lot of people are really shaken up, because I know a lot of people who are going through some crazy stuff during this eclipse, and it is emotional. I'm Cancer, so it's going to be an emotional time for me. And but I will say that the good news sort of appears pretty fast, or the new changes that are coming in the new place are really very exciting and expansive, like the sun here. So there isn't, if it's bumpy, if you're experiencing bumpiness during this experience, let's see, I'm going to ask Ascended Masters Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, if there's any further more clarity that can be given here for Aries. But to me it looks like whatever the Aries is kind of seemingly pulling away from, that needed rebalancing for, is sort of, they're ready now. The clarity that was needed in this rebalancing has become, has opened things up. It's sort of like the next phase of that into the action. So the sort of the hover before. Let's have a look and see. Retreat to nature. Interesting, because we get this card, traveling, sunshine. It's possible we have travel involved for Aries, going home in nature. This is a card. This, you know what? That's so funny. This card showed me at the bottom of the deck: freedom, release, winning. It seems to me that the Aries are going to release something that's really holding you back. That's been in the making, or in the brewing, as it were. Because even though it may not have appeared that the Aries was going towards this. It might have been a deceptive, because that's the Seven of Swords usually means sort of deceptions. So it's a deception that you were pulling away from this. Really what was happening is that you were recentering, rebalancing, recalibrating heart-head alignment. But that clarity has now arrived and is pulling you into more action. So because there's a certain amount of internal, that page one showed up, which means internal, a sense of inner control or an inner power enabling the Aries to step this action up to another, even another higher level that really is opening the Aries to their true, most highest destined fate, expansive. So these eclipses, you know, I hope this reinvigorates your faith, because these eclipses really do clear away stagnant energies that are blocking our progression. And we may not like it, but you know, it helps us through things. You know, it helps our higher selves come through, and we hear our higher selves clearer, and we act on it, and we then usher in our really best new changes. So thank you, Aries, for watching. I hope this read helps you get through these changes and helps you release those 11th house situations that are not serving your highest expansive, or are in the way of your true destined path that you need to go. Thank you for watching, and oh, Mama, what else can I say? If you have any questions or would like a personal read, I shall put my email address on the bottom. Thank you. Namaste.